myself Maitri Dave, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today, we are going to discuss about advancement in civil engineering. So, let us begin our lecture number 3 for that, right? So, here, to understand solid waste management, first we have to understand the concept, it means the introduction. Then we will see some definition of important terms. Then we will see the classification and the effect of solid waste. And lastly, the quality and composition as well as what are the steps that required for this solid waste management, right? So let us begin with the introduction first. So for solid waste management, I can say that uncontrolled pollution which destroy the ecosystem and the process is irrecoverable, right? So the goal of solid waste management is to minimize hazards to environment due to indiscriminate disposal of solid waste, right? So, based on the knowledge of solid waste generation, characteristics and treatment methods, certain materials can be recovered or reused and electrical energy can be generated, right? So, this is all about the introduction. Now, let us see the definition of important terms. So, here I can say the first definition is known as refuse. Now, what is refuse? So simply it includes all kind of waste in solid state excepting excreta coming from residential, commercial and industrial areas, right? Now the second term is the house refuse. It means this consists of vegetable waste, ash, cinders, rubbish, debris from cleaning or even animal waste matters or the debris from demolition of structures are the part of this house refuse, right? The next term is the street refuse. It means it consists of street sweeping, tree leaves, empty packets, empty matches box or fruit peels, etc. considered as a street refuse, right? And lastly, the trade refuse. It means it consists of solid waste from industrial factories, businesses and commercial centers, right? So these are the refuse, house refuse, street and trade refuse. Now let us understand the concept of garbage. It means all type of putrescribed organic matter or the waste obtained from kitchen, hotel, restaurants, etc. in the form of waste food articles, peeling of vegetables, fruits, etc. are considered to be part of this. It also includes animals' dung, grass, leaves and bird excreta, right? It normally weighs from 450 to 900 kg per meter cube. Now, let us see the next term which is ashes. It means ashes are incombustible waste produce obtained from houses, industries, hearth and furnaces, right? So, it weighs from 700 to 800 kg per meter cube. And lastly, the concept of rubbish is still there. It means all non-prescribed waste except ashes are known as the rubbish. So it includes a wide variety of combustible and non-combustible wastes such as rags, paper pieces, broken piece of glass, paper packets, glass, etc. Even it is higher and its weight varies from 50 to 400 kg per meter cube. So here these three terms are very important, right? Now, let us understand the classification of solid waste. So here for classification of solid waste, I can say it is bifurcated as two types. First is based on place where it is generated and second is depending upon the characteristics of various ingredients. First let us see the classification based on the place where it is generated. So here on screen you can see it is classified as domestic, industrial and commercial, which is very understandable, right? Now, if I talk about the depending upon characteristics of various ingredients, it means I am talking about the organic waste, then it includes dry animal and vegetable refuse, cow dung, bird excreta, tree leaves, etc. right? And if I talk about the inorganic waste, it means it includes the grit, dust, mud, metal piece, metal containers, broken glass and many things, right? So this is non-combustible. So here you have understand the classification of solid waste, right? Now let us move to the effect of solid waste. So here for this I can say the effects in which the solid waste changes properties of soil, air and water causing pollution is one of the major effect, right? Even the solid waste produces foul smell, breeds insects and organisms. Even it leads to spread of many diseases, infections, etc. affecting human and animal population, right? Even harmful chemicals are released into the environment. So these all are the effect of solid waste, right? Now let us move to the next topic, which is quality and composition of refuse. So here I can say it varies from place to place and it also varies from season to season. So refuse produced by a society depend upon the living standard of its residents. The quantity of garbage depend on the food available, food habits and standards of living, right? So it also depends upon whether the town is residential, commercial or industrial. So here the unit weight is in range of 300 to 600 kg per meter cube and the calorific values has a range of 1200 to 1800 kilocalorie per kg, right? So here on screen you can see a table in which the garbage, rubbish, dust and silt and the ashes have the average composition percentage by weight at disposable site is represented as 50 to 55, 10 to 15, 20 to 25 and lastly 10 to 15 accordingly, right? So this is the concept of quality composition of refuse, right? Now let us move to the last and most important topic, which is steps for solid waste management. So here we have to follow 3 steps, in which the first one is the collection and the removal of refuse. So I can say nowadays it is collected by door-to-door services provided by the municipalities. Sometimes even the public dustbins are provided by municipalities at convenient places by the sides of road, right? And after collecting, I have to go for the transport of refuse. It means what? So the refuse collected in the public masonry chambers or a big public containers or cans is transported to the disposal site by the means of following vehicles. Like the first one is the auto rickshaw having the capacity of 0.5 to 0.75 tons. Even the trailers having the capacity of 2 to 3 tons. And lastly the trucks which have the capacity of 5 to 10 tons. According to requirement, we choose the means through which we want to transport it, right? So this is all about transport of refuse. Now let us see the disposal of solid waste or the refuse. So for that, here basically 5 methods are there, in which first one is the composting, second is the landfilling in low-lying area, third is the incineration, fourth is the pyrolysis and fifth is the pulverization. So here let us discuss the first one, composting. So here I can say for composting, it is a controlled biological decomposition of organic matter such as food and yard wastage into humus, right? It is the natural process of rotting or decomposition of organic matter by microorganisms under controlled conditions, right? It can be anaerobic or aerobic, right? This process takes generally 4 to 6 weeks. Even the end product of composting process is called compost, which is rich fertilizer. Even there are some advantages like it provides nutrients to the soil, increase the beneficial soil organism, protect soil from erosion and assist pollution remediation, right? So this is all about composting. Now let us see the second method, which is landfilling on low-lying area. So for that, a landfill site is a site for the disposal of waste materials by burial and is the oldest form of waste treatment, right? So here the waste is directly dumped into mining voids or borrow pits. Disposed waste is compacted and covered with soil, right? So the gases generated by the decomposition waste material are often burned to generate power, right? Even there are 3 methods, in which the first is the trench method, second is the area method and lastly the ramp method. Let us discuss all. So here for trench method I can say it consists of an excavated trench into which the solid wastes are sprayed and compacted and covered, right? It is the best suited for nearly level land where the waste table is not near the surface, right? Now, if I want to talk about the area method, so it is the best suited for flat or gently sloped areas where some land depressions may exist. The wastes are sprayed, compacted and then covered. Lastly, we will see the ramp method. It means what? It is also known as the depression method, where the slope or the ramp is sometimes used in combination with the other two methods. It means the wastes are spread on the existing slope, compacted and converted, right? So this is all about landfilling, low-lying areas 3 method. Now let us see the advantages. Here, this method is very simple. There is no costly plant requirements. Separation of different components is not required. No residue or byproduct needs to be disposed. Even low-lying area and land can be reclaimed through this method, right? And as I have said, some disadvantages are also there for any method. So, proper dumping site may not be available. Even the large land area are required. Odor problem is created in the close vicinity of site. Use of insecticides is required. Even earth has to be borrowed from other places for earth layers, and landfills can pollute air, water and also the soil, right? So these are the disadvantages. So this is all for the landfilling. Now let us move to the next term, which is incineration. Now what is incineration? So here this is a waste management technology that involves the combustion of organic materials or substances, right? It is carried out at high temperature. Even the waste materials is converted into ash, flue gases and particulates and heats. Even there are various types of incinerations are there, like moving grade, fixed grade, fluidized bed and rotary kiln, right? Now there are some advantages, like it is mostly hygienic method. It complete destruction of pathogens, no odor trouble. Heat generated may be used for raising steam power. Even the clinkers produced may be used for road construction. Less space is required. Adverse weather condition has no effect, right? And there are some disadvantages, like large initial expenses required. Even the care and attention required. Otherwise, incomplete combustion will increase the air pollution. Residues are required to be disposed, which needs money. Large number of vehicles required for solid waste transport to the site of incineration, right? So this is the concept of incineration. Now let us move to the fourth method, which is pyrolysis. Now what is pyrolysis? So pyrolysis is a thermochemical decomposition of organic material at elevated temperature in the absence of oxygen, right? So here it is carried out at a temperature between 500 degrees Celsius to 1000 degrees Celsius, where it involves the simultaneous change of chemical composition and physical phase and is irreversible. It means the external heat source is employed, right? So it yields gaseous, liquid and solid fraction. So this is all about pyrolysis method. Now let us move to the last method, which is pulverization method. So here for pulverization, I can say in this method, the dry refuse is pulverized into powder form without changing its chemical form, right? In this method, the refuse disposal refuse is pulverized in grinding machine so as to reduce its volume and to change its physical character, right? So the grinded or pulverized refuse becomes practically odorless and unattractive to the insects. So the powder can either be used as a poor quality manure or else be disposed by landfilling, right? So the method is quite costly and hence not commonly used in India, right? So this is all about pulverization. So these all are the methods for disposal of refuse, right? So these steps in which the disposal of solid waste are very important. So this is all about the solid waste management.